Hey there, Pumpkin. I'm Lizzie, a kitchen witch, and this is how to set up the witch's kitchen. The hearth is the center and life force of the home, and in modern times, that usually means the kitchen. The majority of my practice is done in the kitchen, which is part of why I consider myself a kitchen witch. I personally find it most powerful to take in and consume my spell work or share it with others who then make it a part of themselves. Step 1 for turning your kitchen into a sacred space is to clean and organize. It should be a pleasant kitchen to spend time in and cook in. Do your best to make the space free of clutter and distraction. Although it's not necessary, I personally find it helpful to decorate the space in a way that makes me feel a bit more witchy or magical. When cleaning the kitchen, I always start with the dishes. I don't own a dishwasher. To make the experience more pleasant, I often listen to an audiobook or a podcast. Oftentimes, those books and podcasts are related to witchcraft. I like listening to it there because it helps me feel more connected to my practice in that physical space. Next, I clear away any clutter. Distractions pull the mind away from the magical task at hand. Sometimes there is a section of the kitchen that has so much going on. The best way to tackle it is by clearing the space completely and starting over. That way you can put back only what serves you and your kitchen and your practice. It was also time for the stove to have a good deep clean. Step 2 of establishing your kitchen as a sacred space is setting up your altar. The placement of the altar depends on the practitioner. Some people really want it to face a certain direction. For me, it kind of depends on the kitchen and the layout of the space. In the past, I've had kitchens where my altar was built around my stove because that made the most sense. Here, I like it in my window. A big part of why I like my altar to be in my kitchen window is because then I can have plants and I love that living element. What you place on your altar depends completely on you and your practice. For me, it's setting up a clean table. I use a marble stand as the center of my altar, and on it I place candles for any spells I'm currently working on. An ashtray with my cypress bundle, any oils I regularly reach for. Some of the oils I've made myself and others are by Jack's Witchy Ways. The cup I use for ancestral offerings, ivy for protection, rosemary for just about everything witchy, basil for prosperity, and vinca vine for just a bit more protection. And then I add a crystal charging plate. Quite often I'll include some seasonal elements, and it's nice to keep flowers whether they're wild foraged or purchased in a store. The final step in establishing your kitchen as a sacred space is to bless it. You could do this with incense, candles, incantations, or simmer pots. I'm a big fan of simmer pots, and I actually like to do what I call a simmer syrup. As long as you make sure everything in your simmer pot is edible and would taste good together, add in plenty of sugar and let it simmer down into a syrup, strain and enjoy. For an easy, basic simmer syrup, start with 2 parts water. Add lemons for purification, rosemary for focus and protection, chamomile for peace and prosperity, and add 1 part sugar. Simmer and reduce by half, then strain. All right, Pumpkin, have a great day.